The information I'm going to go into today is called Let the Book Talk, based on the in-depth understanding of the Sabbath. Okay. Some people think, is it okay uh, to use the microwave? Um, can you use the faucet to draw water for a glass of water? Can you travel to go sightseeing or go over your aunt's house or go over your mother's or house, etc.? Can you have sex with your significant other, or based on being married, is it okay on the Sabbath to have intercourse? And we're going to go into some scriptures uh, in reference to that. Some people believe you shouldn't even teach or heal the sick, things of that nature, on the Sabbath. That teaching is based on the Pharisaical beliefs. Like, they don't believe that, and these are the same people that don't believe in Christ. But when you read through Luke chapter 13, verses 10, then that's what I'm going to go to, through 17. When you read through those chapters, those scriptures, it'll tell you that Christ healed, a woman on the Sabbath, and he went into the synagogues to teach on the Sabbath. Okay, so let's go to Luke chapter 13, and I'm going to start at the 10th verse. And this is Christ's words. It says, and he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath. And behold, there was a woman which had a spirit of infirmities 18 years, and was bowed together, and could in no wise lift up herself. And when Christ saw her, he called her to him, and said unto her, Woman, thou art loosed from thine infirmities. And he laid his hand on her, and immediately she was made straight, and glorified God. And the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation, because that Christ had healed on the Sabbath day, and said unto the people, There are 6 days in which men ought to work. In them there are therefore come and be healed, and not on the Sabbath day. So based on this, they had to have some type of excuse to come against Christ, because a lot of people was becoming believers of Christ. So the Pharisees and the scribes, they had to come against them and had to have some type of excuse. But it's good. It's okay to do good works. Teaching on the Sabbath is fine. Okay. Verse 15 says, The Lord then answered him and said, Thou hypocrite, doeth not each one of you on the Sabbath loose his ox or his ass from the stall, and lead him away to watering? And ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan hath bound, lo, these 18 years, be loosed from this bound on the Sabbath day? And when he had said these things, all his adversaries were ashamed, and all the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. All right, so I just wanted to read that so you'll see that it's okay to do good works. If someone needs some money or something, and you out in the street preaching or whatever, and you see someone that needs some shoes, and they barefooted, they don't have any shoes, then yes, it's okay for you to go to the store to go buy that person some shoes, to go buy that person a shirt or a hat or what have you. It's good to do. It's okay to do good works. Okay, that's why it shows in verse 15, the Lord then answered him and said, Thou hypocrite, because these are hypocrites, because they're telling people to teach the law. They're trying to teach the law to people, but they're not upholding the law themselves. Doeth not each one of you on the Sabbath lose his ox? So it's talking about the ox. Is like, if they lose their ox, if it was in a hole, wouldn't you pick it up and get it out? That's work, but it's a good work, because the ox could die. Okay. Now I'm going to go into some in-depth information on the actual Sabbath, and I'm going to come out of the book of Jubilees, the last book of Jubilees, which is chapter 50, the last chapter, based on the laws regarding this Jubilees. And I'm going to start at the 6th verse. I'm coming out of the book of Jubilees. If you don't know where to find the book of Jubilees, if you don't have one, I'll put it up as a link on this video. Okay, it should be, I'll make it because someone else couldn't find it. It should be over here on the left, because I made trail of this on this video on my page. All right, chapter 50, verse 6 of the book of Jubilees. All right. Now remember, I gave the examples. I'm going to go over them again. Can you use the microwave? Okay. People don't understand that a microwave is automatically heating up your food. It's still cooking. Okay. Like using the oven, even though you're not using the stove itself to flame, but you're still using the oven. It's still heat. Okay. If you got an electrical stove, because after, a lot of people come up with these excuses. If you got an electrical stove, you're still burning fire. There's still heat to create the warmth on your food. Can you use the faucet to draw water for a cup of water? This is talking about actually turning on your faucet, understanding that the pipes need to draw from the ground or from somewhere, a source where there's water. If you got well water in your house, or it's coming from a base somewhere, it's being drawn at that time. You're helping that system draw water to your house. Okay, let me make it clear. All right, and it says, can you travel? I put up here as a bullet. Is it okay to travel to go sightseeing, or maybe you want to go to the mall and just walk around? You may not buy nothing, but is it okay for you to do that? All right. Can you have sex or intercourse with your loved one, your wife or your husband, if you're married? Okay. So we're gonna go into some information on that in the Book of Jubilees. A lot of people know that the Book of Jubilees really go in detail on a lot of things that's really not written in Genesis or certain parts of the Bible, like Exodus and certain things of that nature. So I'm going to go into it. Let's go to the Book of Jubilees again, chapter 50. I'm going to start at the 6th verse. It says, "And behold, the commandments regarding the Sabbath, I have written them down for thee, and all the judgments of its laws. 6 days thou shalt labor, for on the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it ye shall do no manner of work, ye and your sons, and your men servants, and your maid servants, and all your cattle, and the sojourner also who is with you. And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whosoever desecrated, which means violated, that day, whosoever lie with his wife." You see that? You don't supposed to lie with your wife. "Or whosoever say he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey." So you don't supposed to go out on journeys, driving around, sightseeing. "Thereon in regard to any buying or selling. And whosoever draw water thereon, which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day." So if you need water, you need to prepare it. You don't be running your faucet. People like, man, that's nothing. But you're still drawing water from a source. You're causing that person, that utility worker somewhere in the facilities, to draw water to your house. Okay? They monitor that. That's how they know how much you use. So you're causing a person to work on the Sabbath. You may not be drawing it yourself like years ago, but you're causing that person to work. All right? And I'm going to start where it says journey in verse 8. Then it says, "Thereon in regard to any buying or selling, and whoever draws water thereon, which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house shall die." Now you would think, well, I'm not carrying no water nowhere, but you are carrying it, because you drew the water and then you got a cup in your hand that you drew that day on the Sabbath. You may say, well, it's small, but it doesn't matter with the Most High. James 2 verse 10 to tell you that. "For whosoever shall keep the whole law, yet offending one point, is guilty of all." Okay, so that's not even pulled at. Verse 9, it says, "Ye shall not, ye shall do no work whatever on the Sabbath." And it says whatever. You see that? On the Sabbath day. "Save what ye have prepared for yourself on the 6th day." So you need to save your food. You need to make preparations on that day. And the reason why this is like the Most High want us to do these things in our generations, because a lot of times our people were always on foot going to different lands based on, this is like a microcosm of, we may have to prepare these. See, the Most High has always showed us through examples how to prepare for certain things. the Sabbath day is a holy day regardless. But you, based on us following these days, it will be easier for us to go through trials and tribulations when everything hits the fan here in these Western civilizations. All right, and wherever you are. And it says, so as to eat and drink and rest and keep Sabbath from all work on that day, and to bless the Lord your God, who has given you a day of festival. So you're supposed to have your food there. You can eat and dine, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're chilling. You understand? And a holy day, and a day of the holy kingdom for all Israel is this day among their days forever. So we're supposed to keep this as an ordinance forever. Verse 10, it says, for great is the honor which the Lord has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink. You see that? It says eat and drink. Be satisfied on this festival day, and rest thereon from all labor which belongs to the sacrifice before the Lord for days and for Sabbaths. This work alone shall be done on the Sabbath days in the sanctuary of the Lord your God, that they may atone for Israel with sacrifice continually from day to day for a memorial. When it says sacrifice, we don't do sacrifices anymore. Our sacrifice is laying down our life for the Most High through His Son. Okay? Continually from day to day for a memorial, well pleasing before the Lord, and that He may receive them always from day to day according to thou has been commanded. All right. I'm going to read the 12th and 13th verse of this. And it says, and every man who does any work thereon, or goes a journey, or tills his farm. So going a journey, driving around, you're not supposed to be doing all that. Or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whosoever lights a fire or rides on any beast or travel. Some people are like, well, I'm not lighting the fire if I'm using the stove. You're still lighting the fire because you're turning on the mechanism to cause the fire to be lit. Okay? All right, then it says, let me start over. Verse 12. And every man who does any work thereon, or goes a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whoever lights a fire or rides on any beast or travels by ship on the sea, and whoever strikes or kills anything or slaughters a beast or bird, or whoever catches an animal or a bird or a fish, or whoever fasts or make war on the Sabbath. You see that? Fast? No fasting. No fasting on the Sabbath. You're supposed to have it's a festival day. You can eat. You can, it's a time of rest and eating, coming together. If it's your family, but you have to be at rest. Okay. Verse 13. It says, the man who does any of these things on the Sabbath shall die, so that the children of Israel shall observe the Sabbath according to the commandments regarding the Sabbath of the land, as it is written in the tablets which he gave into my hands, that I should write out for thee the laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the divisions of their days. Okay, so the law was given to Moses at Mount Sinai. We're supposed to keep these as an ordinance forever. Okay, I wanted to go into that information because just so we can have it, so we know exactly how we supposed to follow the Sabbath. You're not supposed to draw water out of your faucet. People think, man, it's okay. You're not supposed to be drawing water, washing your car, or flowering, putting water on your flowers and none of that stuff. You're still drawing water. It's still considered work based on, based on the laws here of the Sabbath. Okay. Hopefully you all got something out of this. It's a quick video, something that you can rest, digest on your hearts. And, in the near future, I will be putting up the video, the lesson, why do we need to sleep? Why do we need rest? It's something that I always wondered about, like, what causes the body to want to, what generates you after you're laying down and in dream world somewhere, or time has passed, and so I just wanted to go into some information on that, and it'll be very interesting. It's profound. It's taken me a while to get all the information up, together. I mean, so I just wanted to make sure that it's perfect to my best understanding before I present it. Okay, so there you have it. I'll be making more videos. This is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.